every time I put up the GoFund link in the thread, Facebook is interfering with it. Apparently, obviously, because not us, but other people probably go on here and they're trying to make money for themselves or whatever they're doing. So when they see the GoFundMe links in there, they immediately stop. They immediately are stopping the feed. So we're not going to put the links in there because we don't want any more interference from Facebook, guys. Hopefully we'll get some guys back in here in this feed. I want to give a bunch of the guys that were sharing that feed. We had 42 guys share the feed, which is nice. Great. 42 guys share the feed. Well, unfortunate that we got interrupted.
It happens.
But let's see now. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna recycle mine. Let's see if we got this one live again. And I got to tell you, that's a real bummer, John. I'll tell you that.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Maybe they're not even going to let us go back live again.
Are we live now?
We are live, yeah. But let's see if we're actually live. I got to see if
we're on here yet.
No, they might have blocked us completely this time around. No, we're live. We got 7 people on now. Yeah, we guys. So if you guys are listening. The reason we figured it out. The reason they're interrupting the feed is because we're putting those GoFundMe links. Twice when I put the GoFundMe link up in the caption, boom, no good. But John and I are going to get. First of all, we're going to make this nothing but about. First of all, on the 9th, 10th, and 11th, Washmart is having an event in Texas, guys. It's a free event, guys. It's completely free. And all these guys here, John, do you know all the sponsors there, John? Can you read them or do you not know them all?
Yeah, I know all of them. Yeah. Well,
read them all. Read them all since I'm.
We got Aqua. We got Bulldog Pro. We got F9, of course. Heraclean. That's Ryan Vitatow and DJ Brock. We have the one in the middle. I don't know. Mr. Pipeline. I know. Sacco, of course. Jerry McMillan. Washmart. Marco and his father, of course. So the 2 I don't know is 2 in the middle.
Yes, the stain and sealing pros. You don't know them. Those guys are all coming. These are the guys here making this event happen. And by the way, Marco's giving away an R washer, a hot water unit.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know that.
$100. But John and I are going to give away 3 more hats, guys, and 3 more shirts
together.
So 3 lucky winners. We're not going to give them away separately. You're going to get a hat from John. You're going to get a shirt from me. What we expect, though, is you guys are going to come back and post us a mug of you just like this in John's hat, in the PWI shirt. We want to see it. We wanted you guys to post it. And guess what? There's going to be some future prizes given away for posting yourself in any gear. John's gear, PWI gear, any of our sponsors' gear, including Joe Walters, who's not on there right there. Joe Walters is also sponsoring the show. And we forgot, they didn't get in on that back one. The people who actually are buying these giveaway shirts, John probably doesn't know this, but the people that are supplying all the free giveaway shirts.
Of course I do.
Sub Effects.
Christy and Darren, right. Yeah.
Supplying all the
shirts. How would I not know that, Ron? Of course I know that.
They're right there. Let's see. We got to go that way.
Yep. They're great.
All right. So I tell you right now, John, I think what we ought to do is just like this. Who wants a shirt? Just like tell us you want a shirt.
How about hold off. To give out the shirts, because Ron wants to do the shirt and hats in the combo together. How about what can we say? How about doing like a promotion for Marco, Washmart University? Share that.
Yeah.
Can you put the link up, Ron? Come on, can you put the link up?
Oh yeah, I can put the link up. Yeah.
I hope Facebook doesn't stop us.
Oh, they're not. They're
the link. Put up the link. Oh my God, what happened?
They are watching us, man. I'll tell you.
I know they're watching us.
That was a trip that did that, but it made more sense now that when I actually put it up, when it was up on the flyer there, that's when they were like, "Whoa, wait a minute, man!"
I know.
A few minutes later, we're getting the thing taken down. right about the same time period too as the last one. We went about 14 minutes.
Well, see if you can put up Marco. Trudy's on now. Hi, Trudy. She's doing about paint strip or whatever it is.
I was trying to get Mark in on this thing, man. I really was.
Marco?
I was trying to get Mark. No, Mark, from Deco Staining, the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, crazy guy out there.
All right, so let's put up Marco Ramondo's link. And if you guys share that, how do we know they shared it though?
We know, but we won't know it I won't know it until later. There's the link right there, guys. You guys.
All right, so the first 3 guys right now, right, Ron, we'll do this.
I say the first 3 guys that actually share it and say I shared it. They got to say I shared it. Otherwise,
then we'll check.
They got to say I shared it, and there's 3 guys. We'll give them 3 hats, 3 shirts.
So you next 3 guys are gonna get a shirt from Ron and a hat from me, so you can wear it together. Say you shared it, and we will check it. We'll check your personal page.
I can see it coming in right there. It's
right. So if you share it right now, Ron, ready? The first 3 that shares, Ron, you put the link there. There's the link. Share that.
3 that shared it and say they shared it. They got to go over here, right over here, and they got to say over there, and they got to say they shared it. Actually, technically, it's down there.
Right there.
And they got to.
We'll check the time. The time right now is 8:50 Eastern time. So by Ron, it's 6:50, right, Ron?
That's it.
Mountain time is what is Mountain time? 6:50.
We got Aubrey on there, Ken, Matt Johnson, Jason Kemker. Let's see. That's who we got on there right now. We got about 12 guys only because the show's been going on and off. You know, the funny thing is, John, we were only 14 minutes into the show and we had 500 views. 14 minutes into the show. Isn't that crazy?
There's going to be a lot of views on 3 different shows. 3 different shows.
Well, there's some good information in that middle show. There's some really good information in that middle show.
Oh yeah. Try to watch 3.
You know, bottom line is, man, we're motoring right along, man.
You know what it was? It was probably GoFundMe because we're trying to, in a sense, solicit money for our good friend Corey, and I'm probably shut down for saying this.
Anytime when you're trying to do something, man, that's the problem.
I think Jeff Henry's already got something, no? David Allen, send me your PM, your address. I'll send you a hat. Matt Johnson, PM. Matt Johnson
shared it. David Allen shared it.
Okay, how about Matt Johnson?
Matt Johnson and David Allen shared it.
Matt Johnson, Ron, we know Matt Johnson, but I know it's not him.
Yeah.
No, I know a different Matt. Hey, Matt, friend me when you get a chance. So Matt Johnson sent PM me your address to me and Ron. So Ron will get you a shirt. I'll get you a hat. Jeff Henry, I think's got a hat or something, doesn't he?
He got a shirt and a hat. He's gotten both, but he probably wants one of your hats. He probably didn't get one of your hats because we gave your hat to somebody else. So he might want one of your hats. He's got one. He got one of my shirts. So.
Well, Jeff, tell me if you got one of my hats. I can see him on here. So, guys, so I have, let's see, Perry Tate, Purvis, whatever his name is, getting a hat. I have Matt Johnson getting a hat. David Allen. I got one more. Aubrey Harris says they shared.
Aubrey's got. I'm gonna get Aubrey one too. I'm gonna just send Aubrey one.
So I don't know if I have enough hats left. Jeff Henry saying no to what?
I'll send Aubrey a hat. I'll send him a hat and he'll get a PWI hat and a shirt from me. So he gets
what about Jeff Henry? Doesn't have what? A hat or a shirt?
Henry's got I believe he's got a hat and a shirt for me now. He probably wanted one of your hats. But he
Jeff Henry, send me your PM your address for a hat.
Oh, he says no. He says no, he didn't get it. So
so Jeff Henry, send me your address for a hat.
I'll send Jeff Henry a hat too.
You gonna send him a hat and shirt?
I'll send him a shirt. You send him a hat.
All right, Jeff, PM me your address. So I'll send you a hat. Matt Johnson, PM me your address, send you a hat. David Allen, PM me your address, and I'll send you a hat. Perry Tate's not here now. He already knows. Send me his address in Iowa.
He loves it. We got 17 viewers back again.
How many?
We got 17 viewers back again, John. But we can't keep talking about the same thing.
I know, guys. We're being around like so many broken records out there. You know,
we've been on the show. We've been on the show for an hour now,
yeah.
20 at a time.
Well, listen, if we can iron something down, my company's 60. My company does more residential than commercial. I'm going to be honest with you guys, but on our income statements, we're 60% commercial and 40% residential, because the big bucks are in commercial. So if you guys look up the Washmont University, I think Ron might have put the link up. I'm not sure. A lot of that is commercial stuff. Commercial. It's a lot of commercial like work. Ron's 100%. No residential Ron ever did was none. Yeah, none. He get someone else to clean his house over there. He ain't doing no. Yeah. The biggest companies I deal with, when I talk about my garage class, is commercial by far. Case closed. You know, one of the companies I deal with, they're a $6 billion a year company, so all commercial. But at Marco's event, most of it's about commercial, but obviously a lot of residential guys, you can come in. You should come there. It's free education in there. Now, I teach a niche or a niche, if you want to call it that. So that you're going to pay for, and it costs me a lot of money, a lot of trial and error, and a lot of great teachers I went to the events and traveled to. So that there's a cost to that, but that's an exclusive niche, parking garage cleaning, right? It's on my hat somewhere. But the rest of it is all free. And Ron's a big believer, and Ron and I talked about this 20 years ago. Educational industry, what I count in a niche and certifications, and Ron might have a little disagreement on that. But outside of that, education should be open to all. It should be open to all, because if you guys go out and screw things up, it hurts the whole damn industry. So Ron's big platform is education free.
We're not going to lose. We're not going to lose this for this link. I know we're not, because it was just all about that other one. That's all it was. That's all it was. You nailed it on the head there, John. The guys in this industry that I've ever known, we got the jack of all trades, master of none, and we don't need to say the names of these guys, because we know who they are and they know who they are. I mean, They know who they are. And guys, I'm not here downing house washing guys. Everybody always thinks that I don't like part-timers. John was all the time. John's all, he doesn't like me because it was funny because we called John the largest part-timer that ever existed. You know what I mean? He had a pretty good sized business that he was running while he was doing part-time. And probably John made more money doing it part-time than most of these guys did doing it full-time. And some of them even with multiple vehicles. John did that for, I don't know, how long did you go until you actually?
Well, it's funny. Ron and a couple other guys, Everett Abrams coined me as the most successful part-time power washer. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I guess now I'm more of an entrepreneur, because I'm getting into, teaching classes and doing events. But basically what happened was, years ago, I was law enforcement, but I ran a company that had a couple of guys going out all the time. So we're doing 50, 60 hours a week. But because I had another job that paid the medical and everything else, Ron and Everett, if you guys used to like to break my horns, like, John, you're not 100% in there, but I gave a lot, all you can give. But, they used to call me the most successful part-timer. But it probably, I did that for 2011. I walked away completely. So the last 9 years, obviously, is all full-blown power washing. This is my office, the shop's back there. But I would say probably since 2003, almost 20 years that the company's been running with a couple of trucks going out, at least one truck all the time. So it's been a long time. So we used to have a lot of laughs over that back in the day, right, Ron?
We did.
Ron used to call me, because, look, not only was I law enforcement, I was a union president for the PBA. Ron used to call me Barney Fife. You older folk, that's the Andy Griffith show. Yeah. Yeah. But I actually got a mailbox that was Barney Fife, see if you can believe it. Not a mailbox, a lunch box. I have it in my
bullet. Where'd you put your bullet? You put your bullet right in your pocket.
Hey, if you can't break balls, have some laughs in this industry. See, a lot of people don't realize, other than that, me and Ron used to clash. we clash because we have different ideology on mostly, not everything. There's nobody better in this industry, and I tell people this, promoting of industry events than Ron Musgraves. There is nobody better. I'm telling you, there's nobody better. But we used to clash on ideology
because there's nobody promoting.
Well, nobody really promotes. Everybody promotes. Listen, people. Here's something you got to look at here. Most people only promote themselves. You see me promote my garage class, but I promote the PWA continues as their administrative online person. UMCC as their administrative online person. Spray Wash Pro, I promoted them. My PWMCA Jamie Schmitz. Multiple vendors that I use. First of all, I know they're good. I'm all about promoting people too, but there's nobody better than Ron. So it's just a matter of time over a tech company, no less, that has 12,000 garages, that Ron and I's path would cross back. But we always stay friends, right, Ron? We always stayed friends. But we used to, on the net, I'm trying to point to Ron, we used to get on each other's case. And, at the end of the day, if you can't laugh at it, if you can't have a couple laughs, you got to take everything serious. You can stroke out at the age of 45. Just lighten up, people, because really we want to see this industry.
Well, John, you and I don't, John Sacco says, but vet your teachers. So yes. I got to tell you this, John, because we don't even think about this, but you know what? We'll work together, even though our ideology is maybe not be, we may not be all,
close.
Well, maybe not, because you have to realize this, man. And again, I don't need to say names. Most of these guys grandstanding now, vet the teachers, don't listen to this guy for the $30,000. I was the guy who put them up in front of people when they talked to their tennis shoes. You understand this? They got the practice at my events. You understand that?
I know that.
I made these guys the speakers and the teachers that they are. And and they can't stand that. You understand that? They can't stand that. You know what I mean?
That bothers me too.
And now they're hollering at maybe I'll be putting somebody up there next month that is brand new in the industry. Here's the thing. You gotta have, if you can't mentor the new guys into being great presenters and building from within themselves, okay? There's no future. You can't have a future. If you keep all the old dogs up here and doing all of the teaching and you never elevate any of these, young guns, where do we go? The industry, when we're dead, it's over. You know what I mean? So you got to have guys in there. And you know what? I'm going to use Doug Rucker as an example. Doug was 22 years in the business when I met him. Sorry, Doug, and I know you know this. He was he was horrible at presenting, okay? But Doug presented himself on the stage, practiced, and he became a great coach. He became a great speaker. Obviously, he's got his own training school. And he's good at what he does now, and he can get up in front of he's got him in front of several national organization crowds, and he knows how to command the audience, not just get up there and go, wait a minute, hold on. And when you're using a 4-to-1 ratio, carbonate, that's not how you teach. You have to get up here and you have to entertain. Well, see, John, that's why I'm going to have a mixture. Okay, when we do this thing in New Jersey, we're going to have some young guns. We're going to have some guys
absolutely
doing in the industry, and we're going to bring them up there on that stage. And you know what? Maybe they'll talk to their tennis shoes, and then we'll rush them off after 10 minutes because we're not going to let them speak for 45 minutes and bore the crowd. But, if they get nervous or they get stage fright, we'll be there to catch them and say, hey, man, next time, we'll get you back up there again to give it another shot. But you've got to mentor these guys into these positions because they're valuable. They're going to be valuable to us in the future.
Let me speak on that, Ron, if I can expound on it a little bit. One of the speakers I seen years ago was Bo Giossetti. Terrible. And Bo Giossetti's a big dude. He wasn't good. He wasn't good. His wife, Meg, spoke, and Bo spoke, but you could see that Meg was more of a natural. And Bo, this is back in 2015. If he's watching this, he knows. I'm going to put it out there. And I respect the hell out of Bo. Great guy. But he wasn't really that good. He wasn't that good. But his wife was very good. She's like a natural. I think she was a property manager one time. So you know what Bo did? Bo hit the ground running. So he was going to classes. He was listening to people. He's been in the business already at that point, probably 10 years in 2015, probably longer. He started a paint company way before then. But he was learning. So now when I went to his in the PWA, I went to one of his condo complex teachings. Guy's good. He's good. And he's now the PWA president. So we all learn from somewhere. I'm going to tell you, people, listen to what I'm telling you here. Listen closely to what I'm telling you here. Ron Musgrave's been in this industry since 84, Ron, somewhere around there. Yeah. A lot of the guys that you guys know of, I'm not going to name names because they're all going to get crazy and cranky. A lot of them were under Ron's tutelage. He taught them a lot. He did. And I'm not going to kid you. He did. So now they worked with Ron, and now they're going to branch out on their own. And why they suddenly make Ron the pariah, like Ron's the problem. Ron's the problem. And a lot of them learn from Ron. Look, I learned from people, the Hinderlighters. You know, me and Michael aren't the best of friendship right now. It happens. It's politics. Robert Hinderlighter, I love him dearly, and he's going to be in Washington University. But, you know, here's the problem. In our industry, what I see people, when they start getting up there, now they want to squish where they came from. They want to dismiss it. And you should never dismiss, never forget, and you need history.
John, we learned from Robert Hinderlighter.
Of course we did, Robert. Yeah.
We learned
from I did, of course.
David Olson. We learned from Larry Hinckley. We learned from these guys, you know. Some of them are with us, you know. I mean, Dave's not with us anymore, but you know, I
love Dave Olson.
Larry's still around, you know.
Yeah, Larry Hinckley, of course.
These guys, we learn from guys like Doc Reisman. We learn from guys like you know, Daryl and you know all these guys out
there. All these old timers
that have been out there for forever and a day. I mean, Michael Hinderlighter. I mean, he's been in the game for a long time. You know, anybody out there that wants to discredit, you know, I'm not going to discredit any of my other veterans that I know. Whether we're on good, you know, some of us are not best buddies, but we can be professional and understand that we all have something to offer, regardless of what our personal feelings are. Aside from that, we are in this industry. We're out there, and the bottom line is we all have the same common goal. And you know, uniting the industry. John jokes about it. We know uniting the industry is never going to happen because we have people involved in this, and when you have people involved in this, and they can't look at the big picture and say, together we can all assimilate and do things together. We don't have to be best friends. We don't have to like each other, but we can respect each other on a professional level. That we know that, hey, I know that these people that I mentioned, and I don't get along with all of them, they know what they're doing. They've been in this business. They've made millions of dollars. I mean, the bottom line is if they've done that, they've been doing something right, and they have value. And we'll go back to the guy. Some of the reasons that I put these young bucks up on the stage is because they need to learn these communication skills. They didn't go to college. They didn't go to a communications class where they learned. And maybe every time they had to give a book report during school, they were sick. I don't know. I mean, isn't that where it starts, right? You have to go up in front of the class and stand up there, and you're like, oh my God, I got to talk to class, man.
Yeah, I'm reading John Sacco. He goes, I'm almost 50 and I suck at public speaking. Ron knows I'm a deplorable when it comes to public. I hate it.
John,
I'm in court, I'm good at it.
You are very good at it, John.
I hate it. Look, when I go in court, I've been in court 200 times in my last career. I opened court. All rise. I did all that announcement. The judge would come in, pay the respect, sit down, shut up. So I actually open court. But you know what? Court's a different scenario because court is really almost scripted. You know exactly what you're going to go in there for, what you're going to testify on. I've been in front of grand juries, but just to freelance and speak, I'm with John Sacco. I hate it, but I kept practicing. I did my first garage event for free for the PWA after 10 years of doing it because I didn't think I was really ready to do that yet because I was still learning. 10 years in doing garages, 20 years in my business, right? But the last 4 or 5 years, I'm getting better at it. But John Sacco, I watch his videos. You're passionate. You give a darn, and you mean what you say. You say what you mean. That's really critical. But what I don't like, I never like this. And Ron, you know this. You could be mad at me, and I got some people mad at me. But listen, we all got a common goal. We all want to succeed, and don't just because people work. Really, I want to bring this up about Ron. A lot of people worked with him. They worked with him. They believed in him, and they all know he's great promoting in the industry. But yet, they have a disagreement, and now he's the enemy. And that never works. That never. You burn a bridge like that.
John, it's my own fault. John, I'm over.
Well, you're brash, Ron. You're from Chicago. You're brash.
I'm confident. Most people think it's arrogance. There's nobody in 25 years that's done more in education for this industry than me. I know this. And guys go, how you say that and you don't blah blah. Look, man, after I drop dead and you've done this for another 20 years, right. You taught me. You know what I mean? Because they don't understand that at a certain point in time, I was the only guy doing education for years, and they don't understand that they got a lot of catching up to do. And they go, well, there's no innovation. There is nothing. I stood up at the CETA 2011 because we had all the manufacturers there. And I stood up and I said, and I had a Winco generator, man. You know what a Winco generator is?
I have one of those, of course.
Man, they did not change for 50 years. You understand? 50 years. Right. And I took that Winco generator. I said, it's the first generator. It was on a hot water unit that when hot water 2,000 PSI met, right. Pressure in 1984, because I had kept it. We were going to gold plate the thing just for fun. You know what I mean? And I go, realize I ordered one of these the other day. 20 years later, it's the same generator. You know what I mean?
I had that on my Landers.
They hadn't done anything to this thing. The next year, they come out with the waterproof generator, man. The next year, they come out with a waterproof one. And I was like, always like, where is the innovation? Where are these people out there? All the people that were out there inventing things. And we saw things. I mean, we saw, and I don't want to get into the big details, but Comet Pump during the late 80s came out with the pump that was mixing the chlorine, but they were ahead of their time. They couldn't sell the thing because nobody wanted to pay at that time $2,000 for a pump when they could go down and get a 12-volt battery pump, mix it in a 55-gallon drum, and pump it out of there and shoot it onto the roof, collect $1,000, and they were done with a $125 drum and a pump. That's where our industry started, and nobody understood that stuff had already existed, but because the manufacturers couldn't sell it for $2,000. They discontinued it. They stopped even making it. And then it wasn't until, just recently, I don't want to say the big nationwide company that picked it up, but there's actually two of them now selling the systems that they were made years ago, like 20 years ago. And they're selling the systems now because we have this, a supposed soft washed craze going on that you and I had both been involved in for, we watched the whole thing unfold, back in the 2000s. You and I remember
1990s.
You remember the 90s when we were arguing about using either SH on the roof? They were using both. They were using sodium hypochlorite, and then they were using hydroxide on the roof. Yes. And the guys would put the shingles inside the 5-gallon buckets and show you in the morning that the shingle was disintegrated. You know what I mean? It was gone. And it was just funny. It was just funny stuff.
Well, one of the ways to grow things, and Ron and I are going to grow things, is history. When you dismiss history, and yet once you get some of these guys get a little bigger for their own britches, they want to clock what they were with in the past. Me, I never forget history, Ron. History is so important. Don't tear down statues. Don't dismiss it. It is what it is. And as I go forward with this, as Ron's come with me on this stuff, we're gonna, I'm gonna be sitting down, people. Okay, I think some of you guys know this. I'm gonna be in Atlantic City next month, trying to negotiate with the one of the hotels there, right on the ocean. I'm already talking to keynote speakers. Ron knows about this. No guarantees. There's no guarantees in life. But you can't forget your history. You can't dismiss your history. And I'm going to go right back to this again. A lot of these guys, they're in leadership positions today, dealt with Ron 4 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 20, 25, 30 years ago. Robert Hiddenleiter would tell you him and Ron would go back to the 90s. And he never forgot it. And they're friends today.
And Robert, here's the thing. Robert and I didn't always get along with each other.
Of course not, because you're pushing the envelope.
And we didn't even agree. There was things we didn't even agree on. I learned some things from Robert. Robert learned probably one of the biggest things Robert learned from me is that the no off property discharge. And I know you did too, John.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oh yeah, of course.
You remember when I first said that in the early 2000s? Everybody was laughing at me. They're like,
yeah, because everybody was selling stuff. People were selling stuff like one of the ones was one of the franchises that bought cost you over $100,000 was selling stuff with flocculants. How to move this shit? You can separate and take it off premises. But I'm going to tell you, you need a hazmat license to do that. I spent over $100,000 on that the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, and now we know. Hey, it's much easier than that. Now there are some specifications and some things. What happened early on in our industry to cut things short is, we had EPA laws that were being confused from vehicle solid waste that was washing off a vehicle because California. We all know we're going to blame everything on California. They all that, you can't wash a car in your own driveway, because my goodness, you're going to contaminate,
I remember that.
Mother Earth, and then all of a sudden, all pressure washing was bad. We couldn't do any pressure washing, it's like, and, those things aren't necessarily like that now because regulators are better educated. Truthfully, regulators are not better educated. Contractors became better educated to educate regulators,
That's true.
And that's what really happened. And here's the reason why. And this is some of these guys that are watching tonight, because I'm going to give that org membership away, John, tonight. One of these lucky 17 guys right here is going to win that tonight. I'm going to just pick somebody too. I'm going to just pick somebody that really wants to win a membership to an org. Because here's the thing: if you want to win it, I'm willing to pay for it because I believe in it. You believe in it too, John. Because when we get into a spot where we have regulation, and we could be looking at this in the next 4 years, it is the only thing that's going to help us is a national organization. They're not going to listen to Ron Musgraves. They're not going to listen to John Tornabene. They're going to listen to a national not-for-profit association and a group of guys that are a committee that represent that organization. That's who they're going to listen to. They're not going to listen to John or Ron calling them up and going, hey, I want to wash this garage over here. And I know you say I can't, but I can promise you I can.
Right.
It doesn't work like that,
No. The big thing in our industry is, look, I'm not going to knock privately held organizations. Everybody wants to make money, but it does come down to that, Ron. I think our industry's got zero to very little voice in everything. Me and Bo just said, we recently had a conversation about this. It's going to start with, to me at least, and I think Ron agrees, the 501c3s or 501c6s. The only way to get into the government angle, because listen, government controls it. You have the EPA, you got the executive branch, you got the judicial, you got the House branch, you got all this stuff. They control it. So you want to be able to work with them. It's the way it goes in life. You just can't say you're going to be a renegade and make your own rules. It doesn't work that way. So I think in our industry, I'm going to be 60 in May. Ron's going to be 55. You said, Ron, soon? Yeah. People, I'm only going to be here for
20 49 for like 20 years, yes.
Yeah, I know. I only got like 20 more years left in this. I'm not going nowhere. I love this industry. I'm going to be here till at least 80. I love it. I'm not going nowhere. I have a great self-running company that my wife really runs it. But we have a great crew for a long time. But nothing's going away. And I'm a true believer that in our industry, unless somebody comes in with $5 million to put into an org, it's going to come. And there's some people I know who could do that, but they're not doing it. It's going to come down to these not-for-profits to do this. Yeah, I'm ready to win. I'm looking at that.
Winner, chicken dinner right there. Jason, do me a favor. PM me right now. PM me. Hit me with a PM do that. And I'm going to go ahead and throw my cell number in there too. If you can't get the PM through to me, go ahead and text me. I'm going to go ahead and throw my text my phone number right.
I find this guy Jason interesting. He put up. I didn't put it out yet. He sent me a picture with his. I'm 99% Jason. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to put up this post in a couple of days. I got dogs around the country wearing my hats. I got babies wearing my hats. I got people that I don't really know wearing my hats. And I think Jason put up with his own son, I think it was, wearing my hat. Because you know what? Ron and I, we're trying to reach. Listen, everything's not about America first. I mean, I am America first, but it's not always about that. We are going to reach across the universe. I got people in Europe. I got some in Asia, if you can believe it. And of course, Perry Tate from China. And Ron's got his tentacles go all over the place. So Ron and I are going to push some envelopes. We're going to piss some people off. It's never for the bad thing here. And once the leaders in our industry say, hey, wait a minute. What about me and my group? Come on, jump on the bandwagon. I jumped on it. Ride the coattails to success.
We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't care. If you want to come on board, you come on board. If you want to call us everything you want to call us whatever you want to call us. But we are going to push the envelope as far as can be pushed in this industry. I got 20 more years. Ron's probably only got like 4 more years.
My thickhead, your thickhead. There's between us, John. There is nobody, no one in this industry. And here we go, our big head again. Not people that just know us.
Right.
We know more people than anybody knows in this industry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
More people. I mean, people go all the time. You got 5,000 friends. Do you know 5? Yeah, I know 5,000 people. People don't understand that for 20 years I've been on the road with multiple events every year, shaking hands and kissing babies and meeting people. I've met these people. These people that are on my timeline, I've met them.
Right.
You understand that? And that's the difference between they call these keyboard cowboys. You know what I mean? These guys out there that are, these that want to say that they're these internet sensations after 6 weeks and they're out there selling,
you know what's crazy, Ron?
$50 million a year.
Yeah. I never came on Facebook until 5 years ago. I refused to come on. It was either 2014 or 15.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Can you remember when I had in my presentation in Myrtle Beach in 2008? Do you remember me telling you about it?
Yeah, of course. I was there.
2008, I talked about Facebook saying this and LinkedIn and YouTube was going to be the hottest thing out there. And guess what? It is.
Here it is. Now, did you buy stock in them?
Yes.
You did buy stock. Okay, good. You did talk about that. Yeah, I remember that. Myrtle Beach, a lot of guys, I go back a lot of time. Pat Clark. I love Pat Clark. Ron loves Pat Clark, Patrick Clark. He was sleeping in his van or his vehicle with his wife. They didn't want to pay the hotel because they didn't have the money. Look where they are today. So we go back a long time here, Ron and I. But the bottom line here is, look, ride the coattails. There's going to be more successful people than Ron and I. I wouldn't come on Facebook to 5 years ago. I think it was 2014, 15. You can look it up on my page. Because the one thing Ron created that was the best. Now, Robert Hill had created Delco. What was it, Ron? DSC1.
DS1. Delco Cleaning Systems 1.
DCS1.
DCS1.
I met the Chris Tuckers. I met so many, I think AC Lockett. I met a lot of people through that first. Then Ron created the Pressure Washing Institute under a new format after he helped Dan Flynn with his pressure washing. What was his? Bulletin board.
Power Wash Network. I bought
Ron owns now. Ron owns it. But that was a different platform. And then for a lot of years, the PWI was way ahead of the curve. It's probably got 300,000 names involved in that. Ron's going to have more to talk about that down the road. But when if I do the Jersey thing, which is 99% going to happen, it's going to be the Pressure Washing Institute, PWI presents. This was the bulletin boards are the best for me, and I still think they're the best because Facebook gave everybody and their mother, without getting vetted, their own page. Now, I'm not knocking that, but we go back, and Ron knows history is very, very important. So here's the history, PWI. We're going to start with the learning with that. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. Nothing to do with me. A lot to do with Ron and other people. But I am going to use that platform to push the agenda I have, and Ron's on board with this as well, because it only betters the betterment of the industry. Now, you can debate some of this stuff, but we're going full speed ahead. And I think in the end here, everyone's going to benefit. All the vendors that get involved in this thing is going to benefit, because Ron and I want to push this industry out of the dark ages where they're at. I'm going to be honest with you. Out of multiple orgs and there's millions of people do what we do. And it's untapped. So we're going to try to tap that. I'm not creating an org, in case anyone wants to know how I thought about it. I have own domain names. We're going to do an educational platform. I'm going to try to go to convention route. We'll see how that goes. And Ron's going to got stuff we're not going to really discuss now. Ron, you got a lot. Ron's got a lot on his plate. A lot.
We got a lot of events going on, man, and I'll be talking tomorrow. I wanted to mention this, man, because I just want to mention this. The Raleigh, some guys are asking about the Raleigh event. There's a problem in North Carolina. This is not my personal event. This is going to be at a distributorship. We were scheduled to have it on the 23rd of January. They've got a situation there where they're restricted to have people there. We will know tomorrow for certain if that's going to go on. But I want to assure you guys this right now. I have the capability of telling you this. The venue that we had to rent in Houston, we had to get a very high person to sign off on this, the mayor. Wow. and we got the person to sign off on it. And we're going to continue to have this event that's going on in Houston because we got the authorization, the way we're going to do it, the way we're going to do the social distancing, and we're allowed to have the amount of people that we're going to be allowed to have there because the venue is larger. And John is in his own separate room. He's got his own private room. So the bottom line is, guys, is that we got a big enough place. Plus, a lot of the things we're going to be doing on day one, it's all outdoor. Everything's going to be outdoor, guys, on this event. Right. And all this training is free on the 9th, 10th, and partially of the 11th. And then we moved to John's paid, garage cleaning class. Why'd you take off your garage cleaning class? The garage cleaning class, which the link is, where is that link, John? Do we have the link?
Yeah, you have it underneath. But look, guys, look.
Is that the right link, John? Is that the right link?
It looks like it is. I think it is. Look, people, we're not pushing politics here, and I got my other mask in there. But just do what you got to do. If they say wear a mask on a plane, you wear the mask on a plane. They say you're going to go into – look, I go out to eat a lot. Look at me. I go out to eat a lot. I walk into the restaurants. I get my live lobster out of the tanks. I walk in. I got to wear the mask. I'm not telling you. I think it's in the air anyway, but just follow the rules.
John, I'm adding the sub effects to my collection of. I'm adding it to it. It's going right in there. There we go.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on. I don't think just stay there. Come on, talk about something for a minute. I got none here. Guys,
I gave away 2 cookbooks last event, and right. we're about. I don't know if I've gotten the information. I gave them away, and I don't know who they were, but you know what? Let me see if I can remember who they are. Maybe the guys will chime in that they actually did. Oh, here they are. David Allen won a cookbook, and Kyle Carter won a cookbook. Hopefully, you know what I want to do, John? I want to have those guys on with their PWI shirt on and their John Tornabini hat on, and then maybe they got a cookbook
in there. Let's do that next week.
And we'll bring them on. We'll bring them on the show to show these guys they actually won it. They got their shirt. Right now, guys, people don't believe this. The first printout on these, we printed about 200. We've given away over 100 already. And for Marco's event, which people don't even know this, Marco's giving every company that registers 1 shirt. So every company that registers for Marco's event is going to get 1 shirt. And they're going to have to wear that shirt in order to win the hot water unit, as well as you'll be able to wear. John bought 100 shirts. Marco bought more than 200 shirts. We're adding another 200 shirts to the mix. So we're going to have by the end of February, there's going to be at least 700 of these shirts in circulation.
Right. And everybody in my class, everyone in my class, I got a bunch of people already signed up. I'm going to get exact size you want. And we're gonna lay low with the hats for a while now. I'm gonna go with the shirts because shirts guys will wear those all over the place. But I want to answer John Sacco in here. John Sacco says, I think between all the groups there is around 20,000 plus contractors. John, way off. Ron knows this. I had the list back in when I was at PWA treasurer back in 2005 and 6. I had a list of 200,000 names that were contractors.
People
now,
don't.
Ron's got hundreds of thousands. There's millions.
People don't even know, John. We looked at the list and there was 3,800 that were certified. 3,800 people.
Yeah, people don't realize it either. But listen, power washing is much bigger than you think. Every other painter power washes. Look, 26,000 the S&P Plus, or who I deal with, they have 26,000 plus employees. They have power wash. You can't believe they own like 12 cyclones. There's a lot of people that do what we do. The problem is that it's not a problem. A lot of them are out working. They don't go to social networking sites. Only the leaders tend to come in here, or the wannabes, or people just starting out. But there is, Ron, if I had to throw a number out there, I'm going to say it's probably 3-4 million people at least around the world that do what we do. Probably more. So it's that market.
Yeah. And back when I first started, there was probably over 1,100 guys. I mean, this is 8 million people. There's probably 20 to 35,000 people just in the little area here, not even statewide.
Right.
Just in Phoenix, 8 million people.
There's millions of people that do what we do.
There's 40-some thousand restaurants in this thing. And when we were on our heyday, we probably were doing about 400 or 400 and some. That was a small, like a speck of the amount of restaurants that needed service and had a guy servicing them.
Well, let's look at this for a second, Ron. I have Starbucks accounts. Starbucks is huge. There's like 25, 30,000 restaurants in New York alone. Now, how many? All of them get power washed. They have to get the walkways clean and get the buildings clean. So just New York alone, there's thousands of people that do what we do.
Do you remember what this was? This was the RFP that was requested by a company. You know the company because the PWNA got the RFP first. Remember who this was?
There's going to be two in there. I can remember. It was Post Office.
Do you remember? Do you read that number? Can you read that number?
172 million.
Yeah, annually. Do you remember who it was?
Well,
it wasn't the post office. So let's see if you figure out who the other one is.
It wasn't the post office?
It was not the post office.
Well, boy, I dealt with a few. I won a contract with Trex Stacks, but that's not them. If I had to guess, oh my God.
I don't think people realize that, John. You remember that. That was an RFP request, and it was from Walmart. Now you remember.
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I bid on that. Yeah. I bid on that, and I got to do the organization. People, that's another thing.
$72 million.
Yeah, my bid alone to cover 125 stores, I think it was, or superstores, was in the millions.
It was funny, though. It's funny, though. People don't understand this. McDonald's is a bigger contract because there's more units.
Hey, look, that's true, Ron. But the tech company Ron and I are still dealing with, we have a 2-year agreement to make a deal on that. They own 12,000 parking garages.
I know.
These aren't garages that go in your house. And they're also in tune within the next 8 years own 40,000 parking garages. So John Sacco, think for a second. How is it 20,000 contractors? There's 40,000 parking garages that they're angling to get. There's probably 300,000 parking garages around the world.
Did you read this?
It's huge.
Did you read this, John? Look at this.
These guys make me want to go out and watch something. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Hey, look, I want to go with my back now. My equipment's all back there. I want to go fiddle with stuff because I'm so psyched.
This guy says we got great content. We appreciate it, Colt. I don't really know if we gave away any secrets tonight, but we between 3 videos, we talked for almost 2 hours, John.
Yeah, I know. We and Ron will never do this.
I had a good time tonight, man. Hey, we gave away 5 shirts, 5 hats. I gave away a membership. We talked about the 2 guys that won the cookbooks the last time we were on, not last week, but the time before that. David Allen and Kyle Carter, if they're out there listening to this or they see this, I'll reach out to them. We'll see if we can't get them on video next week just to come in and say, hey, but we want them with their shirts on, we want them with their hats on, and we want them with their cookbooks in their hands. So give thumbs up to Craig Harrison for donating, giving us some stuff, and all the other sponsors. Hurricane Sub Effects, guys, is the sponsor of all of these free shirts. Every time that there's a free Pressure Washing Institute shirt that's given out that's got these sponsors on the back, it's from Sub Effects. Now, if it comes from Marco Raimondo, if it comes from John Tornabene right there, who's got some, if they got his name on them, they're from him. John's graciously agreed to do those shirts for his event, which they're sharp. I love your shirts, John. The color's awesome.
Oh, those are great colors. That's the color of my company. We're red. I want to close it with this, and Ron maybe can add just a couple more thoughts. Ron and I have an agreement never to talk over an hour because we could talk this stuff all day long. But I just want to tell you guys here now, I don't sell much of anything. But my garage class, I don't know how much longer I'm going to do that. Ron wants me to keep doing it. I'm probably going to do maybe one or two more at most, but I could stop in Texas. But my class, December 28th, if you know my link, Ron posted it there. December 28th, the prices jump up, and they're going to keep jumping up. The class always does well. I do that because, the class will fill up too fast. So I always believe you get what you pay for, number one. Number two, Ron's got Hurricane here. That's Ryan Vitatow, DJ Brock. They own a great company. They sponsor my class. They have great chemicals. They gave, the Whisper Washer gave so many discounts to my attendees. I have some vendors that are coming in already. Of course, I announced Tim Fields the other day, we won a big contract because he's done something for me on my signs. So I have great vendors coming in. I want to make sure everybody gets a lot more than what they paid to be in the class. But you're going to get the top knowledge. I've been doing this a long time now, 2006, so almost 15 years. Ron's been doing this forever. Between Ron and I, between the two of us, we have 60 years of experience. And this is no 3-4 months a piece. We've been around a long time, and we have a long way to go. And the industry, it's got a long way to go. But just keep an eye on me and Ron and I, Ron, my wife, my kids, Ron and I, not me and Ron. And just stay on top of what we're doing.
Keep an eye on me and John.
Me and Ron. Ron's from Chicago, from New York.
You're the John and I'm the me and John, okay?
Yeah. Great show, Ron. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, buddy. We'll see you next Tuesday, right, John? It's gonna be our New Year's show. John, are you gonna have a party hat on next week?
Yeah. Here's my party hat right here. I'm never stopping.
We're gonna wear party hats next week.
Maybe I'll play my guitar and sing a song for everybody. Maybe 50 years playing guitar.
It's the New Year's show next week, guys. Hey guys, Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you guys later. Great
Happy
show.
holidays, everybody.